888, censoring and condemning Delegate Stacy Plaskett and removing her from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence for conduct that reflects the discredibility on the House of Representatives for colluding with convicted felon and offender Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Whereas Stacy Plaskett, the delegate representing the United States Virgin Islands in the House of Representatives, inappropriately coordinated in real time with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in a congressional hearing in February of 2019. Whereas Delegate Plaskett was actively coached by Epstein during the hearing, receiving instructions on specific lines of questioning, and was congratulated after the message by Mr. Epstein, good work. Whereas Jeffrey Epstein, the Speaker of the House, is not in order.
The gentleman has the floor. The chair would again ask the body to please observe the quorum and keep conversations to a minimum. The gentleman has the floor.
Whereas Jeffrey Epstein was a known convicted felony sex offender, having pled guilty and been convicted for procuring a child for prostitution and solicitation, a proselyte in a plea deal in 2008, and served a 13-month prison sentence. Whereas in the course of that investigation, the FBI compiled reports on dozens of confirmed minors who credibly alleged sexual abuse.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Miss Stacy Plasken. This goes far more than just this, to where she was speaking in session in real time with Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, her ass should be kicked out. Plasken was also among several former Virgin Islands officials that were named in a 2023 lawsuit filed by Epstein accusers. She denied the allegations, and the suit was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, which could come back later, earlier this year. In seeking dismissal, for her attorney wrote that Plasken learned of Epstein's crime simultaneously with the rest of the country and had no involvement in his conduct. Whether the disclosure alter public understanding of Epstein's influence remains uncertain, but the archive continues to expand 6 years after Epstein's 2019 death, while awaiting trial in federal sexual trafficking charges, and congressional investigations say additional reviews of this material is ongoing. Now, this was in July 3rd of 2024. I actually did a story on this. There were 6 plaintiffs that were pursuing a class action lawsuit that filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. The court has granted the victims anonymity in the civil proceedings, and they are identified in court documents as Jane Doe 1 through 6. Now, these defendants named in the lawsuit included Virgin Islands government and 7 officials: Plasken, Epstein's longtime employee, former First Lady Cecilia DeHole, former Governor John DeHole Jr., and Kenneth Mapp. Now, there's former Senators Celestial White Sr. and Carlton Doe, and former Attorney General Vincent Azaria. I think we're going to hear a lot about these people. She had requested with the courts to drop this and dismiss it as a defendant in this lawsuit filed by these victims of Jeffrey Epstein, calling the allegations against her the product of pure fantasy, according to a motion filed Thursday. Well, Miss Stacy Plasken, you're going to be remembered as Epstein's bitch. That's what it's going to be. He took money, and now how come Jeffries is in there? Now let's see, once this bill gets to the Senate floor where it's going, let's see what the Democrats do at this point. I just gave you a list of names of people in high upper positions, so only imagine what truly is in them. And of course, Trump's name will be in it, because you know why? He was the only one who turned Epstein over and answered his phone and told the FBI everything that he knew. Country crazy out.